already got it recording?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you just gonna have to hold that big. Oh, come this way.
Is it already
hon.
recording?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Wait. Okay.
Cause then when you come stand, you can just come stand right here.
No, he can put it down in front of me.
I thought you said you had to put yourself
Yeah.
in it.
Right.
Oh, that's good.
All right, here I am talking to you guys about children using cell phones. So, one of the main things about using cell phones, I think, as a child and distracting them is social media and them affecting their school and family needs as well at home. So when it comes down to social media, I see children these days, and I've seen it in real life, that anywhere from ages 10 and up, they're already starting to use social media, like in Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. I believe that it really distracts them. I don't think at that certain age that they should have such things. Technology is a big thing out there, I understand that, but there is certain limits of what they should use it for. Once their most big distraction is like getting notifications. Like whenever I see my niece that's 13 years old now, every time she gets a Snapchat, she will immediately look at that phone and not and just stop whatever she's doing and do that. Which I think that it hurts in the home, it hurts at school, and it hurts just in like going out with friends and family and needing that time to basically away from that phone. The next thing I think is unsatisfactory performance in school. Basically, I believe that like during school that they shouldn't have to use phones. It helps them cheat during exams, helps them not pay attention. Like so, whenever the teacher is actually lecturing them, they will not pay attention. They will always basically get distracted by their phones. They will be texting their friends and stuff like that. I think some schools have limitations on when they need phones and when they do not need phones. However, when I was a child, I didn't get to have a phone. We always used to have it. We never used to have it. They used to check us for phones at that point in time. Children tend to surf the web, meaning like they'll like look things up. In school, yes, we did use the internet. However, we only used school computers, and we only used like educational purposes, basically looking it up for researching papers or making PowerPoints or anything that we needed the internet for. But I just don't think it's a necessity for children to have a cell phone during class and from that time that they're in school. So basically, back to unsatisfactory performance in school, I believe that going back to what my niece did, her grades were dropping, and we were always wondering why. Whenever she first got a cell phone, she was not in our household. She was only with my sister alone. So I guess my sister had that point in where she needed a cell phone, to keep up with her. I see that point, and at times I do see that, it's okay to have cell phones at a certain time. However, I don't think that it's a necessity, because if the child needs their parent, they can always go to the office and talk to their parents that way, unless they're going away on basketball games or stuff like that. Cell phones at home, I think, is a big distraction as well. It gets in between family time, and I'm a big family person, so family time is always on point for me. I always want everyone to be cooperating inside the family. When it comes down to children, I always have my nieces do their chores. So if they're always on their phone, they're never going to get the chores done, and they're never going to get what they want, because if they don't get their chores done, they don't get what they want. So I think that parental control should be put on phones at the same time. There should be a limited amount of time on their cell phones if they were to have a cell phone when the right time comes. I think that they should be only limited time. They should be put on strict parental controls by having a limited time, being able to control what they're doing on the cell phones, because you don't want any negative things to impact their life. There's a lot of things that go on. And I believe that and my final thoughts is that basically, if there's when the right time comes for them to have a cell phone is the time to give them a cell phone, meaning like I think after they're in high school, whenever the extracurricular activities really start hardcore, to keep up with the child, to make sure that they get to their games on time or whatever extracurricular activity they're doing. I also believe that once they are immune to knowing what the responsibility of having a cell phone is, because there's a lot of cost that affects that too. Nowadays, cell phones cost like almost $1,000, $1,200 to have one. So they should be able to be responsible on that. Are there any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. I just think that, everything that you said is on point, and it is, like you were saying, family time. I agree with that. I think dinner time, and no one really eats dinner together anymore.
Exactly.
And even when you are at dinner, I know some families have it where you either cannot have your cell phone at the table, or you have to throw all of them in the bowl when you get to the table.
Right.
So I agree. No one's interacting anymore, and we do need to. Social media, all electronics, period, has just taken over. IT is winning right now,
Yes,
and we need to reverse that backwards. Yes, it messes with their memory, everything. We used to know everyone's numbers. Now we don't know any numbers anymore. Yeah. You're like, wait, what is your number? I have no clue what it is. So I agree with everything that you're saying.
Great. Any other questions?
So I wanted to know, what age do you think that they should have a cell phone?
I don't see if it's like an on-point age. I would basically base it upon their responsibility level, and whether or not, if they're in high school, not all children do extracurricular activities. However, they do have cell phones. So I see it as like, do they really need that cell phone? I think once they're out of high school, once you're 18 and you're gone into college, have that cell phone. All right, that's your responsibility at 18. However, until then, I think it messes with people. I think it messes with their ability to perform better in school rather than performing with a cell phone. I mean, I just see that there's a total difference in them.
I agree as well, because just like you said earlier, they could go to the office and use the phone. One of the teachers can be right there while they call their parents or whatever.
Right.
And this is a good issue that you bring it up.
I think it wouldn't be much of a hassle for children. I mean, and I still see restrictions in schools, but still I see students that sneak in the cell phones and stuff like that. And I think it's just like, okay, they're not gonna, when they have exams, they're gonna try to look up those answers because they're very easy to do that. Google is there for everything. Google is happy for everybody, And that's my one and only thing, because I didn't have the technology when I was in school, and I don't think it's kind of fair enough to have them. Like in college, yes, we do have our cell phones. However, when we are given an exam, it's restricted by the professor for us to even bring it out. Any other questions?